Judge Ben Lindsey defends flapper movies. He says the screen is eliminating sex inhibitions. By Ruth Beery. Photoplay, November 1927. I believe that the overemphasizing of the sex episodes in the motion pictures of today is paving the way for teaching the much-neglected art of love. Judge Ben Lindsey looked me firmly in the eye across the breakfast table and reiterated his statement. Then the eminent Denver jurist, now in Hollywood, continued. From what I know of the intimate lives of girls and women in what are called sex cases among the unmarried and domestic relation cases among the married, I have become enthusiastic over the constructive possibilities of teaching the art of love. The motion pictures, in showing love scenes and depicting sex episodes, are hastening the day when sex will be neither a secret nor a sin. Sex has been made a secret and therefore a sin by deception. Because young girls have been taught by the conventions of their mothers and grandmothers that sex is secret, it has become to them sinful. From this lack of knowledge, youth has mistaken passion for love, infatuation for companionship, which is the basis of marriage. Do you think the so-called flapper picture is causing restlessness among our young people, as many claim, Judge? Absolutely. His answer was emphatic. Many of the pictures are as thoughtless and heedless as youth itself. They are undoubtedly creating much dissatisfaction with life. They are often untrue to life. So are many conditions in the school and the church untrue to the basic principles of life. But that does not mean that they are necessarily or permanently harmful. Clara Bow may be good or bad. She may be increasing the idea of flirting and easy infatuation, all of which may be a false impression for the moment. But if it is to bring the idea of love and sex from undercover, if it is opening the subject to all women, it may look wrong now, but it is to prove an eventual advantage. From the so-called flapper picture, I look for much good generally to the country. Of course, the movies can do more and will do more in this line than they are today. Pictures should show that pure sex attraction is not love, should prove that an infatuation of the moment is not permanent. Many of them do. Stage Madness is an example. Have you had any striking examples among the women who have come before you of the influence of the movies? He thought for a few moments before remarking, I had one case that showed how the world blames the movies for the indiscretions of women. In this instance, they nearly proved an innocent young flapper guilty just because she attended the movies. The judge waxed indignant. $400 worth of goods were stolen from a Denver department store. 2 women were arrested for the theft. One, a typical flapper of 19, the other a woman of 30 and the mother of 4 children. Both were identified by clerks as the ones who took the goods. Among the things taken were more than $60 worth of cosmetics. Not a trace of them had been found among either woman's possessions. Both were brought before me. The mother of the 4 children had an able lawyer. He put the young girl on the stand and she admitted that she was a constant attendant at the movies. The mother never went to the motion picture theaters. The older woman's lawyer stood up. You see, he shouted, she's the kind, and he pointed at the rouged, lipsticked flapper, that runs to the movies and gets all the modern notions that are leading our women to hell. What would this woman, and he turned to the other defendant, want with lipstick, rouge, and mascara? This other admits she goes to the movies. She is the one whom you must search for the stolen property. The judge was dissatisfied with the results. Following his usual custom, he brought both women before him, one at a time, to his famous judicial chamber. The girl frankly admitted she was a flapper, but denied ever taking an article from anyone. The judge, I think from what he told me in that fascinating breakfast conversation, was inclined to believe her. He sent for the other woman. It is too long a story to go into details. But with that instinct of getting to the hearts of all people who come before him with the one remark, "You don't love your husband, but you do love a certain traveling salesman," he opened the floodgates of confession. The mother had stolen the beautifiers to make herself attractive before her lover. The flapper had cared for the mother's children while she took the cosmetics, to lend her a little beauty. Of course, Judge Lindsey always camouflages his stories a little, so that the principles will not be recognized in the reading. But the essential facts remain unmolested. He concluded the narration, "Yet I am convinced that a jury of 12 men would have sentenced the flapper, largely upon the evidence of her attending the movies." Incidentally, this girl's favorite pictures were those depicting the flapper and flapper actresses. No, the movies may be teaching the young girl to spend money on rouge, lipstick, and mascara, as the men spend it on shaving cream, hair tonics, and face lotions, I interrupted. He nodded. But it is teaching women to think about life. And just as you are unable to see the forest from a distance through the foliage which enshrouds it, so are we unable to see clearly the changes in civilization being brought about by the movies. They are many, but paramount among them is the teaching of the sex question, the opening of the way for correct instruction in the art of love, so sadly neglected before the innovation of the so-called flapper pictures.